Ladies and gentlemen, if you're one of the people who've just joined THORnews, then I gotta let you know I do a fundraiser at the start of every single month, a week before the 3rd or 4th of the month. So I can keep doing this super full time, especially during hurricane season. So if you would like to contribute, I got a snail mail, a PayPal, a Venmo, a CashApp, a Patron, and I definitely love snail mail and keep the USPS alive. I got $1,767 left with 7 days to go because this video kicks it off. And I got to say happy birthday and super thank you to Andy. I hope you enjoyed your time with Puff the Magic Dragon. All right, let's get to it. Get ready to see huge chungus big baby bunnies, but that's next. Now we're talking about with all the planets on the same side of the sun, it creates a massive imbalance, which has us looking for a large uptick in earthquakes and volcano eruptions through 2020, and technically all the way through 2023. But with Jupiter and Saturn having a big conjunction on the 8-year anniversary of the Mayan calendar doom thingy, we're definitely on watch for all of 2020. So we just had another 6.1 aftershock from that 7.5 earthquake in Alaska we had about a week ago. And so that is definitely a spot to watch. And we've had volcanoes erupting nonstop in Guatemala, Mexico, all around this little chain. So that is very interesting, but there is no tsunami expected. Now, on to what everybody's waiting for, the big breakdown of Invest 92L, which will probably end up being Isaias. As of right now, Isaias is looking like a giant hot mess and has yet to develop, but it still has an 80% chance of development over the next 5 days. And so at this point, nobody knows what's going to happen. It could possibly never develop, or it could develop into a major hurricane and hit the United States of America. We're going to try and figure that out. Though everybody's welcome to take their guesses, like I've guessed that I was a year off of all my predictions last year when I predicted a hurricane would hit here. I predicted a hurricane would hit it here. I predicted a hurricane would hit here. I predicted a hurricane would hit here. I was wrong. But this year we've had Cristobal hit here and then Hannah hit here. So I'm going with that Isaias is going to come up the coast and then hit North Carolina through New Jersey, New York, and into Massachusetts. But that is just a guess. Nobody knows. Like I said, this thing could end up being nothing, but prepare for it to be something. Because technically, you've only got anywhere from 6 to 8 days to prepare, which doesn't sound like a lot of time for me, especially in a pandemic situation in a heavily populated area like the East Coast of the United States. So, but look how big this thing is. I mean, it is one gigantus Mongo Chongus. Eric Webb putting it into perspective for us, Invest 92L east of Lesser Antilles is easily one of the largest tropical Atlantic invests I've ever seen. The semi-major axis of 92L's shallow CU field and corresponding elliptic moist bubble spans nearly 2,000 kilometers. This is the mega chungus of invests. This is no joke. So if it does develop into a tropical storm or a hurricane, it will be giant. It will be one of the biggest storms we've seen in modern record, possibly. And remember, the Caribbean waters are hot, and even the waters up to New York are super anomalously hot. We're talking 80 degrees or above. So this will have fuel, but there will still be inhibitors like the islands that it's coming up to, and wind shear and dry air. Dry air is being the big factor right now. And so if this were like a normal hurricane, big hurricane, huge hurricane, 92L, Isaias is a super mega chungus. All right. Thanks for this great graphic that helps display, Eric. And knowing the way the terrain is designed and built and seeing some excellent Weather Channel videos last year on what would happen if a hurricane were to hit New York or New Jersey, I would have a evacuation plan for anything category 2 or higher. Prepare for the worst and pray for the best. Now, here comes our morning 4:15 a.m. breakdown. And I'll be breaking this down for you guys almost nonstop because, like I said, if you have a plague and a pandemic, how many days do you need to prepare and stay aware? All of them. As of right now, it's got about 1,008 millibars of pressure. If it does develop, then the pressure would probably start dropping rapidly. Although right now the maximum wind gusts are only at 25 knots. Now, I don't want to give you I don't want to give you hype that is too cold. I don't want to give you hype that is too hot. I want to give you hype that is just the perfect temperature. So we go to the data. The Icon model, I'll start with you with some good news, says that it's not even going to be a tropical storm by the time it gets over the islands, and it's going to go out to sea. It's going to be absolutely nothing to worry about. That is the Icon, and that is good news. The Nav Gem is not good news. This has it hitting North Carolina on the 3rd, which would be 6 days from now, as a Category 2 hurricane. And then it moves up the entire coast as a Category 2 hurricane. And that would cause major damage and major problems for millions and millions and millions of people. And that is 6 days away. Now, onto the Gem. The Gem has it brushing the nose of the OBX North Carolina, and then brushing the nose of Massachusetts, and then going up into Nova Scotia. But it would be brushing the nose on the 4th, which is 7 days away. The GFS Para has it brushing by Florida on the 2nd, which is 5 days away. And then moving up to strike South Carolina on the 3rd, and then moving into North Carolina over Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, and into New York. And it would still go into New York as a strong Category 1 hurricane, and then move up into the Northeast like Vermont and whatever, New Hampshire, whatever the upper Northeast areas are. I'm bad at geography. So that would be very, very, very bad. Then we've got the King Euro hitting the tip of Florida on the 2nd, which would be 5 days away. And then moving past the tip of Florida and then curving back into Florida on the 5th. It would hit as a tropical storm, though. This would come off because it would go over the islands. The Euro has been consistent in showing it going straight over the islands, which would prevent any major development. Here, I'll let you see it. So then the big Chungus 92L would go straight over the islands, preventing it from developing majorly, but it still would hit Florida as a tropical storm. But hey, Florida could totally handle a tropical storm. Floridians are crazy. They can like wrestle a gator, swallow 55 doses of COVID, and fight off both Nazis and Antifa at the same time with just an Australian knife. I made that up for comedic purposes. Because with 6 days before a possible deadly event, I can tell jokes, you know? Okay. And so, yeah. So this gives us a range. So basically the range is right now, it's either going to hit Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, New Jersey, New York, Boston, or it's going to go out to sea, or it's going to be nothing. It's either going to be a tropical storm or a strong Category 2 hurricane. And I've said last year, my prediction was that when it comes up through here, boom, that it would be a strong Category 2, Category 3 hurricane. And then the GFS has it hitting Miami as a very weak tropical storm. And so that is our basic model breakdown for your eyeballs. And now we're looking at the GEFS ensembles. And you've got 120 hours. It's 5 days. So 5 days from now, we'll put it in the danger territory. Most of the ensembles have it being just off the sea. But this is the GFS, which always keeps saying that it's going to be nothing and it's going to be no danger. But the GFS couldn't even sniff out Hurricane Hannah until the day it hit, pretty much. The GFS, after doing a great job with Crystal Ball, has pretty much crapped the bed ever since. And so this is not to be superly trusted. And no matter what, everyone should be making their preparations now. And so our full range is basically from Miami all the way up the coast. As of right now, things could totally change. With it being 6 to 8 or 9 days out, a lot can change. This is 2020, my friends. And with it so close and us already being hit by one hurricane and then having Hawaii barely get a miss, I will be doing what I can to cover this for you guys nonstop. I don't know if you saw my coverage of Hurricane Hannah or even my coverage of Hurricane Douglas, but I will probably be being as comprehensive, if not more comprehensive, with this one. So if you guys would like to donate, I've got a snail mail, I got a PayPal, a Venmo, a Cash App, a Patron. I got $1,767 to raise with 7 days left to go. And once again, a super happy birthday to Andy. And super thank you to everybody out there. I'll remind you again, I don't have a wife. I don't have an ex-wife. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have kids. So this is what I do full time. And I take great pride in being the best planetary defense commander you've ever had. Although right now I'm kind of like a huge chungus. Hopefully in the near future I can get down to a small chungus waist-wise. But that is neither here nor there. I like to try and inject humor into my videos when I can. I hope everybody has a great day. And I hope we can all survive this grand transition, grand conjunction together through 2020. I predicted that things are going to be super crazy until Mars goes retrograde in the middle of September and then Saturn and Jupiter go direct. So buckle up for about 40 days of wild madness and definitely be prepared for some crazy, crazy crap, man. Earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, arguments, people fighting, and me trying to tell jokes. Some of them will probably be bad because that's how joke telling works. All right. I love you. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are incredible. Please stay cool, and I will talk to you in the near future. Peace out. God bless everyone.